In part 2 of the FEH 10.1 refines, we'll cover Spring Severa and the remixes for Mythic Seidr and Fomortiis. Spring Severa is a speedy red mage cavalier. Gullinkambi egg has gotten a few changes. This is a 14 white slang tome that grants plus 6 attack and speed and plus 5 defense and res. Severa now deals 20 true damage per hit and gets no guard for consistent special charging. If Severa or an ally has entered combat in the current phase, or if Severa outspeeds, then when initiating, she gets brave attacks. Further refined, Severa and allies within 3 rows or columns get bonus stats in combat. Severa gains plus 10 while allies gain plus 5. Everyone will get preempt pulse for -1 instant cooldown before their first attack, and they get 50% DR piercing. For just Severa, she gets Fortress 4 Kanto and 7 flat damage reduction. The big change for Severa is that her brave attacks are no longer locked behind going after another attacker. If she's fast enough, Severa can become a red Reinhardt, plus she gets 20 true damage, DR piercing, and great cooldown perks. Kanto even gives Severa an escape option. As for team support, Severa's another plus 5 stats and DR piercing option. Preempt Pulse is fun for -1 instant cooldown for everyone. Besides stacking more attack and speed, Severa has a decent chance to trigger the new Logic made special. 4 cooldown with Slaying, 3 cooldown with the Refine's Preempt Pulse, and Logic has its own -1 instant cooldown if the fall is a penalty. This will put it on 2 cooldown, and if you have Blade or Breath type cooldown, then Severa can charge Logic on the first hit, then proc it on her second Brave hit. Arya can grant 12 true damage with the 4 cooldown Logic, and Chakra provides statuses to activate Logic's cooldown and extra damage. We can use Heavy Blade for the extra cooldown charge, and for C skills you can use Inside Hone, Hone Assault, maybe Liberate, or perhaps Oddspeed Wave 4. That would give Severa no follow-up, which is something she would like to quad. Now for alternatives, Conjuring Breath gives cooldown without an attack check, but without Shackle, Severa can't apply debuffs on her own. Bring a friend if you're going to use Logic. As for Slice with Sparrow, you can get a free follow-up attack and 5 true damage, and Flared Sparrow can attack on instant damage plus flame tiles. Another way to proc Logic or any higher cooldown special is to just quad with Desperation. With Slaying, No Guard, and Preempt Pulse, Severa would trigger any special with her last hit on the quad. Now if you have Breath type cooldown, it's actually also possible to trigger Logic twice if Severa gets hit back, then does her quad attack. Unlike Wolf, Severa does get several defensive perks, and Logic's the 40% DR special for offensive mages. I wouldn't bank on surviving any competent attackers, but there's a chance for some shenanigans. Now besides the 5 cooldown Logic, Severa can simply proc any 3 cooldown special on her second Brave hit, like Magic Light for full DR piercing. If you have any cooldown effect, then she can also trigger 4 cooldown specials like Dragon Fang or Astra. For other skills, Favor can boost the team's stats and cooldown along with a Refine's Preempt Pulse. Severa has Kanto now, so Shadow Assist skills can be an option for less pure combative setups. For Echo skills, Slight Echo can be used for the free follow-up attack, or you can use Low Echo to neutralize field boss. Since Severa gets Brave hits if she attacks second anyway, you can also just fly in with Wings of Mercy Echo to surprise someone. Winning speed checks is always a fickle affair, so Severa doesn't have to outspeed to still output nice damage. The Refine just makes things a bit simpler if she does attack first. Next up is Mythic Seidr, who is going to share some upgrades with her new Winter Roll. If you wanted a Green Mage Cav, then Winter Seidr just has higher base stats and has the same turn-ending effect as Mythic. For her remixed Future Focus Plus, the turn-ending effect now works every turn, and Seidr gets a 5 res advantage for the stat check. Mythic now inflicts Time's Grip and Panic along with ending the turn of the foe in line with Seidr. Time's Grip disables support skills on the unit, so it's like a different type of feud. Even though this effect works every turn, it checks if the foe has Time's Grip active. If they do, then Seidr can't stop the enemy 2 turns in a row. Now, for the rest of the skill, Seidr and allies within 3 rows or columns get plus 5 stats, full debuff neutralization, 7 flat DR, and heal 7 HP after combat. Seidr herself gets Kanto Distance with a max of 3, deals 7 true damage, and has 50% DR piercing. For Seidr's weapon, it has been buffed. At start of either phase, grants Empathy, Hexblade, and Follow-up Denial to allies within 2 spaces. Seidr has Slaying, gets plus 5 stats in combat, makes a free follow-up attack, and deals 25 true damage. Further refined, Seidr gets -1 cooldown every turn, gets another plus 10 stats, and has 15 flat DR. Overall, most of Seidr's buffs are in her C skill, and she has gained immense team support perks. Besides ending enemy turns and follow-up denial, teammates can get Empathy for bonus stats, Hexblade for adaptive damage, full debuff neutralization, 7 flat DR, and healing. Seidr's mostly focused on like survivability perks. Now, combat-wise, she gets free cooldown each turn, so eventually Seidr can charge up a big nuke special to contribute if needed. For another month, we have a remix/refine for a unit who just got a brand new alt. Mythic Seidr has the same turning ending ability as Winter Seidr, but Mythic is more defense focused while Winter is a bit more aggressive. Winter can stack Exposure and Favor for decent amounts of true damage support, and they get Preempt Pulse too. What makes Winter Seidr scary though is that she gets an extra action after assisting an ally, and she can get enough instant cooldown that will work on AoE specials. This allows Winter Seidr to move very far and proc her AoE every turn, so she's a threat herself. Now in general, Mythic Seidr can run the exact same skills as Winter, but she'll take a bit longer to charge up a big special. If you want to stop foes with Future Focus, you'll need to win a res check, so Crystalline or Still Water are ideal choices, plus you can use Phantom's res too. Mythic Seidr's empathy status will overlap with something like Favor, but Favor gives 7 true damage to anyone with empathy, so technically it's not wasted since multiple allies can use that. For specials, Seidr can charge AoEs in 2 turns using Favor ones. It's important to know that the Refine and Remix's 32 true damage plus Hexblade's adaptive damage will also work on AoE specials. If you instead prefer in-combat damage specials, then Seidr can instead run Logic, Ice Wall, or Frost Moon. If you use Conjuring Breath or Heavy Blade, then Seidr can charge those specials in one round, assuming she doubles. For other skills, Arya is nice with the higher cooldown specials, but Sly or Flared Mirror are fine. For more passive team support, Seidr gets Defensive Red Shackle for free as part of her remix. That's fine for general damage boosting for the team, plus more true damage for Seidr. You can also use Havoc or Rally plus Ruse setups. None of these overlap with her Refine/Remix, and Havoc Sabotage plus Panic would be pretty nasty too. In conclusion, Mythic Seidr is a better defensive support unit and can put some offensive pressure on, just not as effectively as her extra action Winter ult. While she has her Mythic Blessing bonuses, if you want a turn-ending unit in any season, then, well, you may want to go with the Winter ult instead. Last unit for this month is Mythic Fomortiis, who is right on time for the newest Sacred Stones banner. Can the MOG Mage and Latona La Rochelle take him out? Let's see what the Demon King has returned with. Starting with Fomortiis' Nightmare plus A skill, it now comes with the Fortune Transformation effects. If there are only 2 humans next to him, or if there is a single dragon/beast within 2 spaces, then Fomortiis transforms and will get his Armored Beast transformation distant counter. Now, he can also do this on Aether Raid's defense immediately, which is good because Fomortiis is an Anima Mythic hero. For other effects, the Demon King inflicts -10 attack and defense and neutralizes the foe's attack and defense field buffs. He reduces the first attacks by 30% and is 15 flat DR. Before getting hit, Fomortiis gets the Lagu's Friend -2 instant cooldown. Last, Nightmare's signature effect has not changed. If a foe initiates combat, then after combat, Fomortiis ends the action of the nearest foe within 4 spaces. Generally, straightforward buffs here. Easier transformations is great, low attack and defense is nice, and Fomortiis' 30% DR now works on brave hits while also adding 15 flat DR to back it up. As for the Lagu's Friend cooldown, this can charge specials like Sturdy Beast or Armored Specials to ready their % DR effects. It can also help charge the higher cooldown specials in general. Moving on to the Ravager Refine, it keeps its old effects, but all the conditions are now gone. Fomortiis has Sling, inflicts -6 attack and defense. He has the Special Fighter cooldown combo, and he gets 80% damage reduction on follow-up attacks. For new add-ons, Fomortiis gets 25 flat DR for follow-ups, and against any specials, he gets 15 flat DR. For the Refined portion, at the start of either phase, Fomortiis can hand out +6 attack and defense with Fringe bonus, and imbue to allies within 2 spaces. In battle, he'll inflict another -11 attack and defense, and deal 25 true damage. Okay, so to add things up, the Demon King's unique skills inflict -27 attack and defense, and he's got a bunch of flat DR to pair with his regular % DR. Fomortiis now gives bonus Delver 4 with attack and defense buffs, and Imbue is just incredibly good sustain status with its 40% max HP healing and anti-deep wounds effect. The goal of the Demon King is to survive so he can trigger Nightmare's turn-ending effect. Imbue just makes him that much tougher to take out. Fomortiis has a couple setups depending on what beast skill and special you use. For a standard build, Fomortiis has gotten Assault Fighter for free, more true damage and flat DR along with a follow-up attack and 50% piercing. With his new Lagu's Friend cooldown, Fomortiis can charge Sturdy Beast or the Armored Specials before getting hit to activate their 40% DR. You can then use Twin Save to proc those twice, and then for the follow-up attacks, Fomortiis will just depend on his regular 80% DR. Now, if the enemy only has 50% piercing, then that'll just be like the 40% DR of his specials anyway. Fomortiis does get more flat DR for follow-ups though. Now, for a variation to this setup, you can instead use Comet. It's 5 cooldown, but if Fomortiis can wait 1 turn or just get -1 cooldown from an ally, then he can retaliate with the special on his counterattack. Comet's 40% DR works for brave hits, so that'll cover Fomortiis until the foe's follow-ups happen, if they happen. With Comet, you can try to go with Briar's Save and try to go for the one-shot counterattack. If Fomortiis can finish the job, then that's less pressure on the regular 80% DR, which could possibly be pierced entirely by like a special. For this type of build, you may want Hardy Bearing to avoid Desperation, and then some kind of Nelsie Disrupt support would be nice too. For more setups, Fomortiis can run Shield Fighter like his Winter ult. The pure survivability build can be annoying, although killing power will be reduced unless you have reflex type damage reflection. If you aren't using Black Knight, at least the Demon King has his own imbue for constant healing. Now for other skills, Pair Up could be an option, although the speed roll part of the skill might get wasted unless you also employ Frozen on the enemy. Speaking of speed, it is possible for Fomortiis to hit 30 speed for Patience, but that requires a ton of investment, and possibly merges too. He can put the speed super boon to use, although this doesn't really up his tanking power, besides adding a follow-up denial. The point of Patience is to get that guaranteed potent hit, which could finish off a kill though. Now if you can get more cooldown, Flame or Ice Wall can be used for higher damage. If you aren't running Savior, then Barricade or Higher Ground can add Warp Bubble. For the crazy people, Edelgard's Strat Assault is usable by Armored Beast. I mean, if you want this dude to walk around punching people, then here you go. As for Sacred Seals, Squad Ace's HP would be nice, but Slick Fighter can be used to neutralize debuffs. If you don't use Briar Save, then Counter Roar can add some damage reflection of its own. Overall, the Demon King has gotten some nice upgrades, but he'll still need support to tank the modern nukers like the new loot. We have many ways to stall foes now though, so try to pair Fomortiis with things like Foresight Snare, Ice Terrain / Corrin's Ring, Miracle Support, and any other annoying deterrences. That's it for part 2 of the 10.1 refines. Let me know your thoughts and have fun with the new refines. If you missed part 1, we covered Gonzalez, Balthus, Wolf, and Niffle. Next up, I'll be talking about the Sacred Stone's New Heroes banner. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.